expose it because they want to have create like continuous more rough. Okay. Okay. Before I go to the next one, any question for the oil base?
Oil base paint is also called enamel paint. E-N-E-M-E-L. Enamel paint. You have emulsion paint or water base. Oil base is enamel paint.
Okay. Next one will be lacquer. Lacquer is normally opaque finger color. Application, just take note application on MDF board and plywood. Okay. So the application method, they usually spray paint in the controlled environment, means inside the room. Then normally when you paint this lacquer spray paint, spray lacquer, they will have the water like waterfall at the sides to capture all the dust and then the toxic. Okay. So the glossiness level comes in the matte, high gloss, and piano finish, but it's prone to stretch. Yeah, plus and minus. Consider to add epoxy or PU varnish to to avoid this kind of like stretches lah. Okay, so lacquer is gonna look something like this. Yeah, it will cover up the furniture or the items. So for example, this top will be finished in lacquer. So for example, the base material, for example MDF or maybe plywood. Then this MDF plywood will be sprayed with lacquer and then you will let it dry. Okay, so only after it finishes, this component will be installed with the legs or the other component. Okay, so it doesn't. I mean, you don't spray paint together with the legs unless you want to have the whole things is the same finish. That's a different story. Okay, so lacquer will be something like this. This is the lacquer finish also. It can be for the ceiling application, it's not only for furniture. And usually for kitchen, as I said, high quality lacquer will be very glossy and you don't see the so-called orange peel texture. Yeah. So normally the high quality, the high-end furniture, you don't see any defect, or when you see your reflection, it's just the real reflection. The cheap one, yeah, low quality lacquer, you'll see the defect or your reflection is distorted or somehow. Yeah, and sometimes you see the orange peel surface also. That's usually called as a defect. Yeah. So why it has to be in the control room? Because lacquer once they spray paint, if let's say dust settle down or maybe bubble or whatever it is, once settle down, it's hard to fix. Okay. So the lacquer color, it comes in so many different range of color as well. They can choose or to spray on. Yeah.
Lacquer cannot be done in situ. Yeah. Lacquer can only done in the factory because in the in situ in the job site is too dusty. You will not get a smooth finish. So even in the factory, it has to be done in the control room, like what Fancy mentioned earlier on with the waterfall. So it has to be done in a very controlled environment in order to ensure that the surfaces are smooth.
Okay. Next, this is also the lacquer application. This is the matte one. Yeah, this is the sample. Okay. Next, we go to the stain. Okay. So stain is tend to be translucent finish and used for the timber surface. So by applying the stain, you will still can see the wood grains. Although it comes with a color, but you can still see the wood grains. It doesn't cover the wood grains. Yeah? Finishes can come in the matte, semi-gloss or high gloss. Okay? The application method can use brush, it can use the spray painted, depend on what kind of items that you want to paint. Okay? But the disadvantages, it prone to scratches in. And you can use to prevent, you can add the epoxy PU or varnish. Yeah, so